Yeah, USN, Farmer Rob coming to you. Folks, I'm here today talking to the serrated family of Jeremy Horton. Jeremy was kind enough to make me a Stellite little kitchen utility knife. So we're going to just take a look at that today. We're going to talk about a couple of things that either Jeremy kind of maybe knowing or unknowingly touched upon, and just kind of give a little review of the overall dynamics of this knife. So this knife is a Stellite, which is a material which will not rust, kind of has those properties of stainless. You can see obviously that Jamie has come in and kind of given it a bead blast finish. He's given it a nice mirror polish along the edge. You'll notice the backside kind of has, doesn't really have a grind to it. It's more of a chisel ground, and we'll talk about what that does for us or doesn't do for us in a second. The material is an 0.625 thickness, which is roughly like 16 gauge stainless. The handle material is exquisite. It's a Boeing Peak carbon fiber that Jeremy's kind of massaged down here for me, kind of smoothed it all out, rounded it off. It's got a real nice feel to it. So this style knife that we're looking at is reminiscent of what the Japanese do with their knives in a chisel ground knife, right? So the Japanese make a knife called a Katsuo Hocho. A Katsuo Hocho is used for like skipjack and tuna, for breaking it down. It wouldn't necessarily have a spear point like this. I think this is a feature that Jeremy kind of uses in his folders. But it's a knife that when they're breaking down fish, they make this blade in kind of a larger size. And another knife called a gashiki, which is a knife that's used to break down fish without touching it. They use a set of silver chopsticks. They use it like in that knife in like imperial ceremonies, to preserve the sanctity of the fish. So this knife, when we're talking about it, it's about well, I can't. Let me see how big this is. It's about 4 inches, give or take. It's in the primary cutting edge here. So this is really for me, sort of in like a large paring knife or like a medium kind of utility knife. The knife, when using kind of a chef's grip, right, kind of a thumb and forefinger pairing, the coil is really kind of swept out, maybe a little larger than I would normally prefer, but it's still quite usable, especially if I place my thumb against the back of the spine. The cutting edge here, when you talk about Japanese style knives, which this is akin to, they usually have a feature called Urasuki, where the back is kind of hollowed out. Jeremy's left this more in a chisel grind configuration, which is good for some things and not so good for others. Earlier I tried to cut apart some onions, and the blade, when we're cutting, generally if you're trying to cut like onion or something, it'll have without having that hollow ground on the back, it'll suck kind of into the material. This knife is generally probably more well suited for breaking down like small game, things like chicken and hens and stuff, rabbit. It's great for. The properties of the material lend itself to kind of being able to abuse it. I work in a lot of outdoor conditions. I do a lot of community fundraising and stuff, and I often don't have the best facilities at my disposal. So a knife like this is generally, it's going to be doing tasks like breaking down chicken, kind of working in between the joints, breaking down those thighs and drums when we're doing big cooks. You can almost use it in a boning configuration. There's not a lot of flex in Stellite. I mean, it's a pretty tough, solid material. It's going to take a lot of abuse. If we kind of look in real close, you can see the degree of polish that Jeremy has given this edge here in a Stellite knife. I mean, this thing it's wicked sharp. I'm actually, when we were trying to do the onions earlier, it sucked in so hard that I couldn't get it to actually cut straight through the vegetable, because it was just gliding in and wanting to cut and bite. So again, small utility, primary use going to be small game, breaking things down in the field. Absolutely perfect that for gut cuts, coming up and being able to grab a hold. Handle, double scope, good double curve through the handle, absolutely perfect for a big strong grip. I have obviously gigantic hands. Jeremy's done a nice job, you know. In a kitchen knife, you know, I would tend to like to see this edge maybe rounded off a little bit more, just because when we're tight gripping and doing a lot of chopping, it starts to wear into you. But other than that, I mean, that's really kind of my only you know, concern. I think Jeremy did a great job. The Serrated family kind of gave me the honor of letting me get this knife, and we did it to raise some funds for a little girl there on USN that's having some problems. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank Jeremy. So with all of that said, I'm going to take a little shot of the Gentleman Jack here. I'm going to raise my glass to you guys. Salute. Horton, Serrated life, Serrated family for life. Let's go.